Hey guys, so today we're going to be learning about tables and equations. So first off, you're going to need to go ahead and you will need to pause this video so you can write down these vocab terms because they're going to be super helpful for when we are going through this. So go ahead and pause, get these written down, and then we'll explain them. Okay, thank you so much for pausing. Okay, so the independent variable, and guys, you've heard about these. You've actually probably used these in science. So the independent variable, that's going to be our x. That's going to be our input, so what we put into something, okay? And that causes the dependent variable to happen. And the dependent variable, that's going to be our y. So it's the output. It's what happens after because of the x. So it depends on the value of x. So dependent, it depends on the value of x. It can't happen without x. So we can't come to an outcome or a solution until we have our independent variable or x. All right, so for this first one, we input 10. Now this is our rule. So this is what we're going to follow. So if we put 10 of something in, magical stuff happens here, which is x plus 7, and then all of a sudden, poof, we have an outcome. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's figure this out. So instead of putting x as our variable, what could we replace that with? It says right here it's 10, so we would have 10 plus 7, and what would that give us an output of? 17. Okay, so we start with 10, this happens inside x plus 7, and then it puts out 17. And y'all probably kind of remember those from elementary school, like the input-output table, but now we're just going to kind of rework them into the higher levels of math. So instead of using 10, instead we said x. Instead of x, what is this going to want us to do? We want to do 12. 12 plus 7 is going to give us 19. And then our last one, we're going to try out 14 plus 7, which is going to be 21. All right. So for the second one, we have an input of 8, and our rule is 5x. So 8, so we have 5 times 8, which would give us an output of 40. 5 times 10 gives us an output of 50. And 5 times 12 gives us an output of 60. Okay, so this next one says complete the table and we have to determine the rule. So we have to figure out what this is asking. Okay, so I have 1 and then somehow I get out 8. I have 2 and somehow I get out 16. I have 3 and then I get out 24. So what's happening here? We're multiplying x by 8. So 8x is going to be our rule. So 8 times x is going to give us our value, which we can double check that, and we know that 8 times 1 gives us our x, right? So we have 8 times 2 gives us our 16 for our y. 3 would be 8 times 3, which gives us 24, and that is correct. So now we can keep going. 8 times 4 would give us a value of 32, and 8 times 5 would give us a value of 40. Okay? All right. So this next one says, write an equation to represent the table. So we want to represent what's happening here. So we see that I'm getting from 1 to 9. I'm getting from 2 to 18, 3 to 27. So we notice that I'm multiplying by 9. I wrote 3. Sorry, guys. Times 9. Times 9. I think I was thinking about that. 3 and 27. Times 9. So find the rule. Think what's happening to x to get y. So happening to x, something happens here and it spits out y. We're multiplying by 9. So we're going to have 9x is our rule. 9 times our x is our rule. So an equation, guys, this is so simple. Write the equation. Y equals the rule found in table. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to stick a nice little y in front of it. Y equals, what's our rule? 9x. Not too bad. Okay, so for this next one, it says write an equation for examples 1 through 3. Okay, so number 1, what was our rule? X plus 7. So y equals our rule of x plus 7. Ta-da! The second one, we know that we need to have a y equals to be an equation. Our rule, 5x. And guys, think about this. Y equals 5x. Right? Isn't that so fun? That's what it gives us to our equal. So y equals 8x. Okay? All right, moving right along. Complete the table and write an equation. All right. So we go from 0 to 0, okay? 1 to 15, 2 to 30, 3 to 45. Guys, what am I doing here? Multiplying by 15. So we're multiplying everything by 15. So it would be 15 times x will give us y. So 4 times 15 is 60. And 5 times 15 is 75. So our rule is 15x. So if I wanted to find y, that would equal 15x. And then the last one. So Missy is making 28 muffins for her class. The following recipe is the one she uses. So she uses one egg for every 7 muffins. Create a table to show the number of eggs needed for 28 muffins. Then write an equation to represent the situation. Okay, so if I put in 1 egg, my output, how many muffins would that make? That would make 7 muffins. Okay, so my rule would be 7x, 7 times x. So 7 times my 1 gave me muffins. So if I put in 2 eggs, 7 times 2, I would get 14 muffins. 3 eggs would give me 21 muffins. 4 eggs would give me 28 muffins. Okay? So our equation, if I want to know how much y is going to equal, I need to multiply 7x.